his recent visit to the United States, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has met Secretary of Defence Lloyd Austin. Both leaders have reviewed and further the deepening and the existing defence cooperation activities between the two countries. The United States has approved a possible foreign military sale of anti-submarine warfare and related equipment to India. This deal, estimated at $52.8 million, and this is set to enhance India's anti-submarine capabilities and strengthen the strategic partnership between the two nations. India has requested to purchase various types of sonar buoys, including several in the same make. The package also includes technical publications, data documentation, engineering support from the United States government and contractors, as well as other logistics services. There is an effort to bolster the U.S.-India strategic relationship, and the proposed sale will significantly boost India's ability to counter current and future threats. This will also enhance its capacity to conduct anti-submarine warfare operations. The sonar buoys will be deployed from India's MH-60R helicopters, which are a crucial part of the country's maritime defence strategy. They have also signed security of supplies agreement. India becomes the 18th partner of the United States to sign this deal after Australia and Canada. What does this mean for both the nations is something that we're going to discuss with our experts. Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal, former diplomat, joins us on the broadcast. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, former Chief Spokesperson of the Indian Air Force and Ministry of Defence, also with us on the program. Captain Shyam Kumar, Indian Navy Warship Captain and Naval Instructor, is also with us on the show. Last but by no means the least, Major General A.K. Sivanch, former head of the Territorial Army and Geostrategic Defence expert, joins us on the program as well. All right, General Sivanch, I'll begin with you, sir. Sir, this is obviously heartening to see that India and the United States are getting along just fine. And, you know, the best part about this is, sir, that this deal comes at a time when the Prime Minister, went to Poland, the Prime Minister went to Ukraine, and just a few days ago, he also went to Russia. You know, if something like this had happened, let's say about 40 to 50 years ago, you know, forget about having a deal with the United States. You know, they would be thinking of sanctions against India at that point in time. A lot has changed in the last few decades, but, when it comes to American interests in India, what do you make of them? Are they transactional in nature, or actually this friendship has blossomed over a number of reasons, and one of them, of course, being the elephant in the room, or rather, should I say, the dragon in the room, China?
Absolutely. We need no doubt. See, from 2000 onwards, irrespective whichever is the government there in US or Indian government, our relationship has improved tremendously. And as of today, we are geostrategic partner of each other. And the question comes is that we have signed almost 4 basic foundation agreements with the US in last about 20 years. First one was in 2002, that was GSO-MI, that is General Security Information of Military Intelligence. So we could able to share the military intelligence between each other country. Then came the LEMU, Logistic Exchange Memorandum of Agreement, signed in 2016. Our bases, military bases, can be utilized by each other for repair and logistic supply. And then came COMCASA in 2018, Communication Competitive and Security Agreement. It means you can also pass confidential intelligence at the real time. And that was a game changer. And the last one came as a BECA, Basic Exchange Cooperation and Agreement 2020, which was after what has happened with China, that the geospatial information, which was the most real-time information, could be passed to us. And remember that whatever we could get, those intelligence about Galwan and all, was specially passed by the US under this scheme. So these 4 foundational agreements have made a tremendous impact. And now when we are signing this SOSA, it's basically a security of supply agreement. That is a step in a right direction. Now, what comes is that the weapon system which we are getting, are they being on time or are they being delayed? That is the main question. No doubt about it, ki earlier we used to purchase almost 70 to 75% of our weapon and equipment from Russia. Now that inventory has been enlarged, we are now buying about 15% to 20% from US, then France, Israel, as well as South Korea. Now, as far as the US is concerned, we have taken M777 ultralight howitzer, we have taken C-17 Glowmaster, C-13J Hercules, Chinook helicopter, and Apache attack Haptor. And now, what are there on the pipelines and what is the delay? The pipeline is the basically G404 engine, which is required for LCA Tejas Mark 1, and that has been substantially delayed, and we are trying to push. That is the main reason, one of the main reasons of Rajnath Singh, our defense minister, going and meeting Austin Lloyd, that it should be pushed, because the delay is basically due to not getting that engine where that agreement is already signed. It is already clear by the Congress of the US. And the second one, which will be G414, which will be for Tejas Mark II, which will be 5th generation. So that is point one, which they are going to sort it out. And second thing is 31 MQ-9 drones. That deal also is a huge deal, about $3 billion. That is also required, which we needed 15 for Indian Navy and 8 each for Indian Army and Air Force. Those will be Sky Guardian, and for Navy it will be Sea Guardian. That again has to see the light of the day. Possibly some advancement will take place. Now the one which we are talking about is that we have taken 24 MS-60R, which is a helicopter, which is a multi-purpose helicopter that has been recently commissioned by the Navy. And this is basically anti-submarine, anti-ship. It can be also for rescue and basically such element, also for catchback. And now for this you need a weapon system which can be for submarine, and that's why we are now taking those weapon systems from Sonobuoys from US, which can be used in MS-64, and I suppose that is where now this deal is also going. So overall, I can say 2-3 things. One is from 2020 onward, we both have become a strategic partner. Both have realized the importance of each other, and both have realized that if you have to counter China, especially in Indo-Pacific and Indian Ocean, you have to be together. And India needs US and US needs India, and especially India needs it in case we have to fight against China from Ladakh to Lake Arunachal Pradesh. What we need is a modern weapon. We need a real-time intelligence, which only the US can provide it. Now, in addition to these weapon systems, what is also on the pipeline is also Striker infantry combat vehicle, which we are almost trying to take 100 of them, which will be utilized in Ladakh. These can be operated in a terrain which is suitable in deserts as well as in high altitude. And another thing which we are going is basically anti-tank missile, which are basically the US is expert in that, and we are trying to get these also. But 2-3 things also stand out, Vineet. We are trying to have a clause of transfer of technology, which the US is not trying to give it in most of the weapon, including this Javelin anti-tank gun missile, which I was talking to you, because the one which is G404, which is made by General Electrical in US, the HAL will be manufacturing here. This joint production will take place after some time. At the same time, then General Atomics, which is basically giving us the MQ-9 drones, that will be made by Bharat Forge.
Right, absolutely. And Wing Commander Praful Bakshi also joins us on the program. Commander Bakshi, General Sivach picks on a very important point. Well, it's all right. The defense ties are deepening. You know, the association is getting stronger by the day. But the fact of the matter is that transfer of technology is also something that India definitely and keenly and vehemently demand from all its partners, you know, regardless of the diplomatic or defense ties that we have been able to foment so far.
That's right, Vineet. You're right. Absolutely right. Because we have, our policy is now clearly states that we should be self-sufficient in defense, Atmanirbharta, and you know, this aspect has been spelled out in our policy. Now the question is, how do we get it? America, as we have already know, we have a number of projects going along with them, and most of it because the Russia could not supply us. Their capacity has gone down after the breakup of Soviet Union. So that's why other countries came in, and America has gained a lot of ground on this. And we have, as General Siwach has spelled out, the number of Air Force and Army equipment which have come to us from America. But America actually was wanting this to happen long back. It is only our policies, they were touch and go. There are sometimes, we used to come very close and sometimes very far off. There was a time when America was ready to give us all the nuclear equipment, including nuclear listening device. They created bases all around India. Even our other to map the borders. We got equipment from America, including 46 commando aircrafts. We had got at one time. They were flying within our in ARC, Air Research Center. But that's besides. But now what happens is that we want to make sure that we don't stop buying only, we have to now start manufacturing. Here comes the crux. Where is America? That's why the fighter deal fell through. The F-18 and F-16 which America was wanting to sell us actually was stolen by France. Why? And they gave us a Rafale. This peeved off America, and that's why we had to buy, to please America, a lot of other equipment. America is of course giving us, they're earning money, but you are very right, Vineet. They are going to dilly-dally as far as transfer of technology is concerned. Whereas we want to see the day when the technology actually comes, where France has already agreed. They have ready to give us the engine technology along with this, and also a license to produce and sell it from here. So this is where America is, and that is why the DSCA, the Defence Security Cooperation Agency, now which gives a certificate, that goes into all this. And it is that agency which shoots down whenever we ask for a joint technology transfer. They don't agree. When they give the certificate, that is with their certification. That is why we are getting all this high altitude anti-submarine warfare release system. All this thing we are getting, it is because of this agent. They have agreed. But how long will it take place? Our policies have to be very clear. Where do we stop? Where do we now get seriously with other countries and build up? We have to formulate, where are we? Not a single engine, we are still there. No tank engine, no aircraft engine, no engine. The question is, that is where we are stuck. We can keep buying all these things, 6 aircraft, 4 aircraft, that thing, all these things we can keep buying. That does not make a difference to us that much because our borders are very vast. These equipment will not be everywhere, they will not last. This is just what you say is, in Hindi they say, muh dikhai. That is all it is. Until and unless we satisfy ourselves and we are bold enough to tell America that, listen, this will not do. America will continue playing this game. At the moment, we are happy that they are not peeved off with our relationship with Russia, Ukraine, etc., because they want us in South China Sea. And that is why this anti-submarine warfare equipment is coming up, because they want us to take the cudgels on their behalf with China. And that's why they want to strengthen our Navy. And that is why they have seen various exercises, what we require, that they're ready to give on the spot, but give only. Whether they will help the naval home industry, as group captain sitting out here will soon clarify. America is going to play its game very, very carefully. So let us see, Vineet, how they help us out in this. But they want us in South China Sea, and they will never let us go, because that is what Shinzo Abe told Joe Biden before when he passed away, that we must have India as our representative. So we and Japan, and that is why we are an active partner in Quad. That is the reason that they want us. So America won't let us go, but we will have to get the technology out of them.
Absolutely, sir. Ambassador Goel, well, America is known, or rather infamous, for, equipping countries around the central adversary that it's always, had. If it was Russia, it was Afghanistan and some of those other peripheral countries. And once again, that policy still continues. But from a foreign policy point of view, what kind of a sea change are you seeing, both on behalf of how the Indian perspective is shaping up and how the American perspective is also shaping up as a result of these defense deals?
Thank you very much, Vineet. And I'm happy that I'm speaking after the two defense experts on the panel here. I was hoping that the most important defense expert in this case, our dear Captain Shyam Kumar, would have spoken before me, because he knows how the Indian Navy operates. But anyway, here I am. Two or three things here. In fact, I find it very curious, number one, that the USA government should have signed these two agreements, particularly the agreement about surety of supplies. That agreement should have been signed during the year when there are elections in the USA and when the presidential clearance and approval would be required for implementing such an agreement really. Now, in this case, Biden is really shifting from the White House. I don't think he will take any decisions of this nature. Whoever comes next will have their own agenda. So I think even if the agreement has been signed, its implementation will take many, many more months, if not years, to come really, number one. Number two, in the agreement, it says there that they have given a certificate, they have stated, assured, that this agreement will not disturb the military balance in the region. Which region? Indo-Pacific or Arab Sea? Where? Where will they actually not disturb? Because please do remember that in the past, many a times, such deals have been thwarted simply because of a concern in the Congress and the Senate that they will be disturbing the military balance. And Pakistan is quite capable. Pakistan, please do remember again, that Pakistani military, Pakistan government has deep access into Pentagon, their military. So they're quite capable of doing so. In fact, if you recall, that the entire Pakistani nuclear program was able to run successfully despite what they were doing in Afghanistan. They got all the nuclear supplies from the USA despite everything. Therefore, I do not know whether this agreement will work in the near future or not. It may take some time, but the importance of the agreement is that it announces clear intention of the USA and the recognition on their part of the importance of India in the defense partnership. So that's an important statement of intention, and I hope it does translate into some action as the time goes by. Last point. In the USA reckoning, there are three elements as far as India is concerned. India versus Russia, India versus China, and India in Indo-Pacific. I'm just basically simplifying the entire matrix into these three elements. Now, USA will want to basically keep India on their side on all these three counters. However, China and Indo-Pacific, I continue to remain rather wary, because if their policy towards India is guided by what happens in China or what China does, I continue to remain wary that for some reason, if the trade between China and the USA becomes an important factor again, if the American investments in China acquire a central stage once again, where will that leave India? So we need to be careful. We play the hand, but we remain cautious that, like the house of cards, it could tumble any moment. Vineet.
All right, Captain Shyam Kumar, your observations, and obviously, the strategic advantage for India is not alone here. There is a strategic advantage that the Americans are also going to be enjoying as a result of these defense deals.
The whole aspects of bilateral and multilateral diplomacy that India has been utilizing in the World Forum is very, very visible and imminent in the present scenario. You see, as you questioned the panelists, and a whole lot of procedural facts have been drawn onto the canvas today. Beyond that, when you look at the timing of Mr. Rajnath at USA and our Prime Minister at Poland and Ukraine, obviously, while we have the bilateral discussions going on at individual level and delegation level, we are giving a multilateral policy message to the world. So this is very, very clear that we don't get deterred by any nation. It's in the diplomacy, what we want, what is in the interest of the nation goes on. And it is going on in a such clear manner, where two different approaches of USA, Ukraine, Russia, and then Poland, it's going on. So the message is clear that this defense partnership of America today has gone into a broader global defense partnership and a strategic partnership at world level, wherein people are viewing India as a pivotal agency for many roles, and it can play around accordingly, whether it is peace negotiation process or whether it is strengthening regional power because of the defense partnership. So USA wants India to take over certain roles. As beyond the 2000 onward, what have been narrated today, all the agreements which went on very steadily with a lot of caution and ships sailing into uncharted water, India was cautious about all these agreements. And with a lot of gaps, you can see this BECA came and now this SOSA has come up. So this has actually been steadfast, and it has been accordingly dealt with a lot of spade work behind it. Coming to certain defense deals and certain criticality of equipment that we were talking about, the submarine, anti-submarine warfare operations. We have already P-8I aircraft, which are one of the top aircraft for anti-submarine operations from the USA. And earlier we were working upon with the Soviets on this. So the Tu-142 and IL-76 have been phased out, and now we have this aircraft. And the MH-60 Romeo helicopter, which is the replacement for naval seeking helicopters, which I am a seeking pilot myself, and I have operated seeking for almost 30 years, starting from 89 onward when it was inducted. I am the first indigenous production of the seeking 42 Bravo pilots, that is anti-submarine aircraft. So all our pilots have gone to Russia. They have been trained on MH-60 helicopters. Certain equipment were limited, and sonobuoy is very important because the helicopters are integral air elements. The maritime aircraft P-8I is a shore-based aircraft. It gives a maritime domain awareness, and helicopters are eyes and ears of the fleet. They operate from aircraft carrier and all the frigates and destroyers. So this is very important because you lay the sonobuoy, then only can you deter a submarine and carry out a provocative measures against a submarine to keep them at bay. So we need it in Indian Ocean, and that is why these high altitude droppable sonobuoys are a deal that has been signed in the recent agreement which has happened. Beyond that, that combined maritime force in the Houthi Red Sea area, liaison officer detailment at various levels, and our intelligence sharing activities which is going to happen. Naval people are going to be posted at 150 command centers of the liaising, where we would be able to carry out a quick operations. And beyond that, one point which I want to make it is, the Indian industrial base is being prepared for contingencies. That means sharing of information, classified information, keeping the items and equipment ready for contingencies, and like HAL for that matter, or joint venture. So actually you are building up capacity of a country towards self-reliance. So that is also a point in this agreement, that slowly our defense industries will be strengthened and they will be ready to supply equipment at short notice. We were doing it with Russia. Overnight, at short notice, we used to get from Ukraine, from Russia, from everywhere. Now, obviously, it is suffering because of certain regions and the war.
All right, sir.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.